Are we on?
When did you press it?
I've just pressed it.
You need to say now. Like, actually tell us the moment so that we know how long.
Oh, and you see it like a right Herbert, waiting for the...
Hey, don't knock Herbert.
I don't even know any Herberts.
I think we should be good.
Well, we don't know whether we're online or not, but good morning anyway. Good morning from Sri Chaitanya SCSMath London, where our program is going on, and under the shelter of Gauranga Sundar, Guru Gauranga Gaura Sundar, and Radha Giridhari Ju, and our Divine Masters. And we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We already started this chapter. It's, I think, is it chapter 11? Chapter 11 of the Antya-lila, the Lord's loving pastimes with Jagadananda Pandit. And we left them in quite an interesting place where the devotees are heading for Puri, and Shivananda Sain is their coordinator, we can say. He's paying the taxes and sorting out the problems and finding places for the devotees to stay, and, you know, looking after everyone. And prasadam, all these important things. And then we had this, frankly, amazing pastime of Nityananda Prabhu, who has arrived in the village and he's very hungry, and he's so hungry he could die, and he hasn't got anywhere to stay. And Shivananda saying is not coming through. He's busy somewhere else. And then Nityananda Prabhu says, well, he's very angry, and he curses the three sons of Shivananda Sain to die, and he goes over to Shivananda Sain and kicks him. And meanwhile, Mrs. Shivananda Sain is crying because Nityananda Prabhu has just cursed their sons to die. Hare Krishna. So Kaviraj Goswami is explaining a little bit about the contradictory and of course Shivananda Sain is super happy that those lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, of Nityananda Prabhu, are unattainable for even Lord Brahman and the great Devatas, has come and landed on him, and how fortunate he is. And he's telling his wife, you be quiet, foolish woman, he says, this is wonderful. And everyone can die for the satisfaction of our Lord. We don't mind that. And then, of course, he comes and he finds the prasadam for Nityananda Prabhu and shelter for the night, and Nityananda is very happy, and he's blessing Shivananda Sain. But there are some other consequences of this pastime that we're now going to hear about. So Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So the last verse we read was text 33.
And it's chapter 12.
And it's chapter 12, excuse me, I'm a bit behind the times. Chapter 12. Jai Gurudev, Jai Gaura Hari, Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar, Govinda Deva Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityananda Prabhura Sabha Charitra Viparita Krudahaya Lattimari Kare Tarahita. One of Sri Nityananda Prabhu's characteristics is his contradictory nature. When he becomes angry and kicks someone, it is actually for his benefit. Okay, so then what happens? Shivanandera Bhagina Shitakanta Senanam Mamara agochare kai kari abhiman. Shivananda Sen's nephew, his Bhagina, means sister's son, Shrikanta, the son of his sister, felt offended, and he commented on the matter when his uncle was absent. So Shivananda Sen's not there. Shrikanta has got something to say about this. Chaitanyera parishada mora matulera khyati takurali kerena goshai tara marilati. My uncle is well known as one of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Lord Nityananda Prabhu asserts his superiority by kicking him. Etabali Shikanta Balaka Age Chali Jana Sangachari Age Gela Mahaprabhura Sthana. After saying this, Shrikanta, who was only a boy, left the group and travelled on alone to the residence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Petangi Gaya Kare Dandavata Namaskara Govinda Kai Shrikanta Age Petanga Uttara. When Shrikanta offered obeisances to the Lord, he was still wearing his shirt and coat. Therefore, Govinda told him, Govinda, Mahaprabhu's servant, my dear Shrikanta, please first take off these garments. That was the etiquette. Prabhu kai Shrikanta asyache paramano duka kichunabalila karuka jate ihara sukha. As Govinda was warning Shrikanta, Mahaprabhu said, don't bother him. Let Shrikanta do whatever he likes, for he has come here in a distressed state of mind. Vaishnavera samachara goshai puchila eke sabara nama Shrikanta janaila. Mahaprabhu inquired from Shrikanta about all the Vaishnavas, and the boy informed the Lord about them, naming them one after another. Dukkha payasyacha e prabhuda vakyashuni janila savagyana prabhu eta anumani. When Shrikanta Sen heard the Lord say he's distressed, he could understand that the Lord is omniscient, Savagya Prabhu. Shivananda Lati Marila Iyana Kaila Eta Shaba Vaishnavagan Ashia Milila. As he described the Vaishnavas, therefore, he did not mention Lord Nityananda's kicking Shivananda Sen. Meanwhile, all the devotees arrived and went to meet the Lord. Puravavat Prabhu Kaila Sabara Milana Sri Sabadura Haite Kaila Prabhura Darashan. Mahaprabhu received them all just as he had in previous years. The women, however, saw the Lord from a distance. Vasagara Puravavat Sabare Dayaila Mahaprashada Bhojane Sabara Bolaila. The Lord again arranged for the residential quarters of all the devotees, and thereafter called them to take the remnants of food offered to Lord Jagannath. Shivananda Tinaputri Gosaira Milaila Shivananda Sambande Shabhaya Bahu Kripa Kaila. Shivananda Sen introduced his 3 sons to Mahaprabhu. Because they were his sons, the Lord showed the boys great mercy. Chotaputre deki Prabhu Nama Puchila Paramananda Dasa Nama Sena Janaila. Lord Chaitanya asked the youngest son's name, and Shivananda Sen informed the Lord that his name was Paramananda Das. Purve jabe Shivananda Prabhu Stane Aila Tabe Mahaprabhu Tane Kaita Lagila. E bara tamara je haibe kumara puridasa balinama dariyatara. Once before, when Shivananda Sen had visited Mahaprabhu at his residence, the Lord had told him, when this son is born, give him the name Puridas. Tabe mayera garbe hai seita kumara Shivananda Karigela Janmahaila Tara. The son was in the womb of Shivananda's wife, and when Shivananda returned home, the son was born. Prabhu Agyaya Dharila Nama Paramananda Rasa Puridasa Kari Prabhu Karena Upahasa. The child was named Paramananda Das in accordance with the Lord's order, and the Lord jokingly called him Puri Das. Shivananda Jabi say Palaka Milaila Mahaprabhu Padangushta Tara Mukedila. When Shivananda Sen introduced the child to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord put his toe in the child's mouth. Shivanandera Bhagya Sindhu Ki Ke Paiva Para Jara Sabha Goshti Ke Prabhu Kahe Apanara. No one can cross over the ocean of Shivananda Sen's good fortune. For the Lord considered Shivananda Sen's whole family his own. Tabe Shaba Bhaktalai Karila Bhujana Govindera Agyadila Kari Achamana. The Lord ate lunch in the company of all the devotees, and after washing his hands and mouth, he gave an order to Govinda. Shivanandera Prakriti Pucha Jabatataya Amara Avashesha Patra Tarajena Paya. He said, as long as Shivananda Sena's wife and children stay in Jagannath Puri, they must be given the remnants of my food. Jai Shiva Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. I don't know. Shall we leave Chaitanya Charitamrita here? I know we haven't read long, but then we can read from. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a very wonderful place to leave Mahaprabhu in Puri, and with his own family, Shivananda Sen, his wife and children, and really Mahaprabhu, really treating them like his own, kicking them, putting his toe in the baby's mouth.
As you do with those you love.
As you do with those you love. Exactly.
I missed a part of the reading. Did they go back to when Shivananda Sen's?
No, it was very sweet actually. It was very sweet because Srikanta came to Mahaprabhu. He left the party and he came on his own. He was disturbed because he was disturbed. He was only a boy. He doesn't say how old, but he said he was only a boy. And he came to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu could immediately tell. Oh, and Govinda said he came and he had his coat on. I don't know what a coat was in those days, but he had some outer coverings. And Govinda says to him, take those off before you see Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu says, leave the boy alone. Don't worry him about that, because I can see he's distressed. He's got trouble in his mind. And then when Srikanta is telling Mahaprabhu about all the devotees who are coming, he's mentioning all their names. He doesn't mention this incident of Nityananda because he realizes that Mahaprabhu is Sarvagya. He knows everything already because he already knew that he was disturbed. So Mahaprabhu was just very affectionate with him. He wasn't chastising him or anything. No. I guess. Because he was very hungry, he was going to die, and he hadn't got his room yet. Sounds reasonable to me. He was so hungry.
Shivananda Sen stayed behind to pay the taxes.
Yeah.
Like everyone went through and
He was engaged in service, Shivananda saying, but he wasn't feeding Nityananda Prabhu. So that's why.
And this
So-
is not for anyone to imitate. When they don't get their rooms. When they don't get their rooms.
No, there's only, he is the avadut, and it's wondrous pastimes, but we are not in that section. We are to practice Chunada Pisani Chena, especially coming to the temple. It's the Lord's home, it's Gurudev's place, and we are lucky to even have a sight of it. Never mind take prasadam or stay there, and that's how we should be. But we're hearing these wonderful things. Okay, so then we will leave Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Shivananda Sen and his family and all the Vaishnavas happily there. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai. And Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. We will leave them there, and we will hop along to the search for Sri Krishna, reality, the beautiful. Oh, and I changed pages in here. So we will just start. Yeah, we're just about to start a chapter called the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We just heard about the thievery of the sweet absolute and what hope that gives for us, because he will take what we will not give, even if just some small particle of attention in his divine direction comes to us, then he will come. Guru Maharaj saying, today or tomorrow he will come and steal that which we will not give freely. So therein lies our hope. So now, very timely, because we've had wonderful guests here in the temple, and of course we introduced them to the Maha Mantra, and they have questions about the Maha Mantra. And then yesterday we were in Rezekne yesterday, and the questions from there was also about Maha Mantra. So now we are going to hear from Guru Maharaj on the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So Jai to Guru Maharaj. Chapter, whatever it is, I don't know what chapter. Anyway, the Hare Krishna Mantra, page something. Before chanting the holy name of Krishna, we must first chant the Pancha Tattva Mantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. The Pancha Tattva, or 5 features of the absolute truth, came to give the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to the fallen devotees of this age. The fallen devotees of this age. So they are the general representation of Guru for us. They help us to enter into the domain of Krishna, and also the plane of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One short paragraph, so important and clear. Why are we chanting Panchatattva before? Why is that necessary? Here, because they are the general representation, Jai Gurudev, of Guru for us. They help us to enter into the domain of Krishna. We're seeking the blessings of the Guru section. After chanting the Panchatattva mantra, we should count on the beads of the Japamala and chant the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. While counting beads and chanting the holy name, the bead should be placed inside a cloth bag, and the index finger, which is generally considered inauspicious, should not touch the beads, but should remain outside the bag. Generally, we use the thumb and middle finger to count. One should chant 16 rounds, as recommended by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. But if there is any emergency, He must chant at least 4 rounds. The mala should not be kept fasting. In the process of counting, we begin from the bigger beads and go towards the smaller, and again return in the same line. The giant bead in the center is called Mount Sumeru. We must not cross over that. This Harinama Maha Mantra is found in the Upanishads, as well as in the Agni Purana and the Brahmanda Purana. In the Kalisantarana Upanishad, it is recommended as the highest mantra, and scholars have mentioned this mantra as a means of address only. No appeal. Those scholars have mentioned this mantra as a means of address only. No appeal should be attached to that. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the Yuga Dharma Nam, or the process of God realization, especially meant for the present age, Kali Yuga. We find the Mahamantra mentioned everywhere in the Puranas. This mantra can be chanted silently, mentally, and aloud. It has been given to us by Mahaprabhu as the general recommendation for the fallen souls. He has given it for all, whether they are qualified or unqualified. The only condition for receiving it is Shraddha, faith. It is mentioned in the Padma Purana that there are 10 kinds of offences we must try to avoid in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There are also 4 kinds of namabhas, or apathetic chanting, which will not give us entrance into the domain of mercy. Mere liberation will be affected by that kind of invocation. Mere liberation. These 2 improper kinds of chanting stem from our tendencies for exploitation and renunciation. We must chant the name with a spirit of service and avoid the 10 offences. So now Guru Maharaj is going to talk about those 10 offences. First, abusing saints. The first offence is to abuse the devotees who are the agents of spreading the greatness and nobility of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. If we abuse and dishonour his agents, then the name is dissatisfied. Only the devotees of Krishna are real saints, because they are after eternal life. Those persons who worship demigods for temporary gain are not considered saints. They may be neglected, for they are not devotees. Saint means Vaishnava, or devotee. All others, such as the worshippers of demigods, are not considered saints. We avoid them. A saint is one who has no ambition in his life, but to have a connection of loving service with the Supreme Lord. Only those who are agents of eternal truth, absolute good, are to be considered saintly. We should not abuse such saintly persons. Second, demigod worship. The second offence concerns how we should treat the demigods, including Shiva, Shakti, the sun god, and others. They are not to be considered equal to or greater than Vishnu or Krishna. They are under him, and they are all inferior to him. They are given engagements by the Supreme Lord Krishna, and they have to discharge their duties according to his order. They are never equal or superior to Krishna. Third offense, Guru, good as God. The third offense is to consider the Guru a human being. Although so many human symptoms may be found in him, still, according to our sincerity to meet Godhead, the Lord descends and represents himself in the Guru to satisfy our hunger for the truth. We must see him as the agent of the Lord. It has been advised to us in a general way not to think of the Guru as a mortal being, because if our attempts to attain the Absolute is sincere, then he, capital He, will also come to us to deliver us. God is omniscient. So through a particular agent who acts as his representative, he comes here to accept us and take us up to a higher plane. We are ordered by the advice of the scriptures to see the Guru as the representative of the Absolute, because none can give us Krishna but he himself. God's presence should be perceived in our Gurudev. We should see that God has come to give himself to us. Generally, we find mortal signs in the body of the spiritual master, but we must transcend that. The Ganga water may be filthy in external appearance, but still the dirty Ganga water can purify us by its touch. To our material senses, the deity seems to be wood, stone, or earth, but that is our polluted vision. Krishna is there, and sometimes he is seen to walk and to talk with the devotees of a higher order. We must not think he is made of material stuff. When we go and stand before the deity, we should not think that we can see him, but that he is seeing us. He is in the subjective plane. I am his object. He is mercifully seeing us to purify us. In this way, our vision must be adjusted. Krishna was killed by a hunter. The atheists will interpret that it was an ordinary incident, but it is not so. Sita was stolen by Ravan. This is all external, all illusory. The real truth is above in the transcendental realm. So we are requested by the expert transcendentalists and by the Shastra to see that our Gurudev is above these mortal signs. Krishna says, Acharya mam vijanyan navanam manyetaka ichit namatya buddhasyu yuyeta savadeya mayo guru. He says, I myself, Krishna, am the Acharya. Do not think that the Guru is an ordinary man. I myself reside within the heart of Gurudev with all my parts and parcels for the benefit of the disciple. And then the fourth offense, blaspheming the scriptures. The fourth offense is Shastra Ninda, blaspheming the Shastra, the scriptures. Of course, this means those scriptures which are concerned with praising the greatness and nobility of Krishna, not others. We must not abuse those scriptures that instruct us about God and his devotees and teach us the eternal good. Holy name God in sound. Fifth offense is to interpret the holy name of Krishna with the help of the dictionary and grammar to find diverse meanings in the words of the name. The sound is transcendental. The dictionary, grammar, and any other books of mundane knowledge cannot limit or qualify the holy name. Above the material sound of the name is the transcendental sound within, Shabda Brahma. The name itself is the Supreme Person, incarnate by his own free will. He is inseparable from his name and fully present in his sound form. The Vaikuntha Shabda, transcendental sound, is different from the mundane sound that can be produced by the tongue and lips. In homeopathic medicine, all the globules are apparently the same, but the potency within is all important. It's something like that. The ordinary sound of the name and the sound vibrated by a pure devotee come from different planes. The difference is in the potency within. The holy name descends from the spiritual world and comes to express itself by dancing on the tongue. The transcendental sound of the holy name is inseparably connected with the person whom it represents. The sixth offense is to consider the glories of the holy name of Krishna to be a concoction. That's all it says for the sixth offense. It's just made up. 7 is sin. To sin and chant is suicidal. Hare Krishna. The 7th offense is to sin on the strength of the holy name. The scriptures declare that one name is sufficient to clear all the sins one can commit. So if we go on indulging, committing many sins with the idea that we will chant one name to cleanse the sin, it will be an offense to the name and not the name proper. We cannot try to utilize him for our service. He is above all this Maya. The real name will not appear there. We must not think I can do anything and everything and the name will purify me. It is written in the scriptures that if you go on with this spirit, it will be suicidal. Hare Krishna, the supreme purification. The 8th offense is to think that chanting the holy name is another pious activity, like penance, pilgrimage, giving in charity, service to the country, and so on. If we think lightly of the holy name in this way, then we commit an offense, because the holy name is absolute, and these other processes have only a partial, relative position. Other processes are partial. They award some success in the mundane world, but the name can give the Lord himself. So no other process of purification can hold the same position as chanting the holy name of Krishna. It is supreme, and none can come close to it. Forbidden for the faithless. The 9th offense is to give the name to those who do not deserve it, who have no faith in chanting the name. If you press them to chant the holy name, a bad reaction will come to you. Also, without getting any inspiration, we should not make disciples and give Harinam initiation. We will commit offense against the name if we make a business or trade with name giving. If we give the name to anyone and everyone out of greed for becoming a guru, then it will be an offense. Without sanction from above, if one runs to become a guru, to get name and fame with some mundane purpose, then it's a great offense. Back to Godhead. The 10th offense is to be too much addicted to a particular thing, or to have too much affinity towards the body and bodily wealth. When a boat is anchored, rowing will simply move the boat around the anchor. The anchor must be taken up and then the boat can move forward. So we must not anchor ourselves down with a particular thing. We must be open. The name will create some transformation within the mental system, and we must be open and unprejudiced enough to go where the name will send us. If we carefully try to avoid that transformation, and stick to our present life, that's an offense against the name, to invite him and then ignore him. We must not accept the name as a foreign thing. He is our friend. We should be quite at home with him. We are going to attain a very soothing and friendly connection by the realization of the holy name of Krishna, which is all good, all beautiful, and all charming. By chanting the holy name, we will attain our most desirable end of life and go back to God, back to home, and not to any foreign country. We must take the name in a friendly, affectionate way. The name is the only object of our love. He is our friend and not any anti-party. So the name will take us home, not to any foreign land. That is our sweet home, and he is our sweet guardian. With this spirit, we shall go on chanting the holy names of Krishna. These are the 10 offences to be avoided in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then I should probably end here, and we can read Namabas tomorrow. There's a few more pages, so we'll leave that. Stay there. Anyway, many wonderful things to remember and to hear constantly. The medicine is strong, but my condition is so lamentable that it needs to be taken in high potency many times.
Srila Gurudev wrote a beautiful poem based on these 10 offences. Right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Which he was giving that during
Yes.
meditation time.
Yes. And we sing that song. Is it in that book as well? It is in that book, yes. Oh, we can sing.
We have those little booklets.
Our homely Lord.
Homely Lord. Yeah, we hear it so often and it's stressed so much, but I have a tendency to forget that, actually.
The holy names are friend.
Yes, that's friend and affectionate and
And he is already in us. You remember? The Paramatma. The Paramatma, I read in Srimad Bhagavatam.
right.
The Paramatma is like eight ounces.
Right.
There's a crown
Oh.
and wonderful earrings, smiling.
That's right.
Yeah. Like
Or the bangles.
the bangles, ankle bells, and four hands.
Hare Krishna.
Like this. In us.
Joy. Beautiful.
Already.
What a
You just tell us that forever, Sachi.
Yeah.
We're
So
believing it.
nice how you say it.
wonderful. What wonderful things we hear.
Yeah.
So search for Shri Krishna reality, the beautiful Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Ki Jai. And of course our beautiful guardians, Srila Govinda Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Siddha Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai, the whole of the Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai, and especially for our Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. And yes, Chamatkar Horosho, stupefacente. So we can sing Hare Haraya Nama Krishna. Sachi did it?
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra. Radha Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Gosai Kori Sharanavanda. Jai Jai Vinana Sabishtapura. Jai Gosai Jai Muitagara. Satsavada Paradevu Mora Panchada. Hare Charana Sevi Bhakti Saniva. Janame Janame Mora Hira Mila. Jai Gosai Raja Koilava. Radha Krishna Nityalila Hira Kanda. Ananda Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Bhajaya Maha. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriya. Hari Nama Sankirtan Kori Naratamada. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jai Gaura Hari Mo, Jai Gaura Hari Mo.
Jaya Savai Kai Sisi Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhari Juki.
Jai.
Om Vishnu Pad Sila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki
Jai.
Om Vishnu Pad Sila Bhakti Rakak Sila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki
Jai.
Bhagavan Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki
Jai.
Om Vishnu Pad Sila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Sri Rupa Nuga Gurvarga Ki
Jai.
Ramacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki
Jai.
Jai Sri Chaitanya Sahasramath Sri Acharya Vrinda Ki
Jai.
Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Sri Chaitanya Charita Murita Ki
Jai.
The search for Sri Krishna reality, the beautiful
Jai.
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 Jai Tulasi Maharani Ki
Jai.
Jai Sabashara Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki
Jai.
Sabashara Sri Mahaprabhu Ki
Jai.
Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees Ki
Jai.
All glories to the devotees worldwide Ki
Jai.
Harinam Sankirtan
Ki Jai.